Hey, what's up guys? My name is Eric Bush. Welcome back to my channel. He got some really cool stuff here. Right behind me, or right in front of me, is behind you guys, is a really cool car I actually never saw in my life. Alright guys, there's some B-roll for you. If you guys could guess what it is, I'm going to tell you right now. This is a, you said 87?
Yeah.
87 Pontiac Fiero. GT. He does have another one. The other one is what?
SE.
After looking at both, the GT is definitely a lot better, as you see. Like I said, I thought it was like an MR2 or some sort, but my favorite parts are like this kind of cut off right here with the window right there. I think that's what makes it looks really good. That's what I like about it a lot. This thing sits low as it is, and it's not even lowered or anything, correct?
No.
You plan on lowering it at all, or not? Do you?
Nah, it's
no.
pretty low now.
Yeah. I was gonna say. Plan on switching like rims or anything, like any to that effect, or I think these rims are so 80-ish. Okay. Yeah. As you guys saw on the inside, the inside is this. The 80s look is so rad compared to these new cars. These new cars, there's this so technology in it, and this is so clean and simple, you know. Even to like the door, how do you want to say it? Like pockets, you know. They don't make nothing like that anymore. So yeah, I'm gonna ask my man some questions, and yeah, see, you know, I did this a couple times with other people, and I see some of you guys like it, so try to get different stuff on YouTube. I'm pretty sure I never even saw, I mean, there's probably out there, but I haven't really saw one Pontiac Fiero on YouTube. So
and you're a mechanic.
Yeah, exactly. And I work for Chevy and Saturn and Pontiac and all them, and I never saw one of them. So this is definitely really cool to see. So I'll show some people at work. So this is the motor that's going to go in the other one, correct?
Right.
Supercharged.
Yeah, 3.8 supercharged.
3.8 supercharged.
Grand Prix.
Out of a Grand Prix. So he's going to throw this in the other one and make some jam with it. I mean, what'd you say these cars weigh?
This car is 2,400 pounds.
2,400 pounds.
The GT might be a little bit heavier.
Okay.
The base model is 2,400.
Yeah. And like what he was telling me before, I couldn't believe it. Everything except the hood and the trunk, like engine hood, if you want to call it, is all fiberglass. Right. Every body panel is plastic except the hood and like where the trunk is for the engine, if that makes any sense.
Right.
It's all fiberglass, except everything else is just all plastic. Wow, it is. I mean, that's the bumper, but
and every panel comes off.
Every
all
panel
removable.
It's nowadays they don't make nothing like that.
No, the Saturns were doing it for a little while.
Well, my wife had a Saturn and it was all plastic.
Yeah.
It was like a 92.
Well, it's a good idea.
No, it really is.
It's not going to rust.
Yeah, exactly. One, you don't have to worry about rust, and two, it just kind of sucks that if you get any damage, it's just gonna crack. As you probably guys know, on a lot of these cars around here, they always rust. Underneath, probably the pinch wells always rust, you know what I mean? But this thing doesn't have a single piece of rust on it. It's so cool. And I mean, paint back in the day, 80s, paint wasn't the best, but
right.
that's minor stuff.
Yeah.
You know. The windshield, I did want to ask you this. The windshield, with it being yellow, is that how it was made, or is that just like, do you know?
What do you mean?
Like, see how it's like yellow right here?
Oh, the tinted? I think this is probably, I don't know if it's the original glass, but it's been changed a while ago.
Yeah.
This was supposed to be tinted up here, but I think the sun faded it to turn it yellow instead of tint.
It kind of doesn't look bad, though.
No, it's
gives it a little character.
Right.
So, you want to just do the outside first? You just want to explain, like, you know, what motor's in this, and you know, go from there. So,
the Fieros came out in '84, and they were done in '88, and the way
4 years,
right, and the way they sold the car was Pontiac went to GM and said, "Hey, we got this car that's going to be a commuter car, 50 miles per gallon. You know, let's do it," because at that point, the gas prices were ridiculous. You know, there was a gas shortage and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So that's how they sold the car to GM. Then when they come up with the whole design of the car, they went to GM and showed them. And GM's like, wait a minute, this is like a 2-seater.
Yeah.
This is a sports car. This isn't like an economy car for commuting. They're like, no, it is, So it came with the Iron Duke, little 4-cylinder engine, the original. And they started producing them, and they were a hit. But the first year, caught on fire because where the catalytic converter was,
Really?
Yeah. So there's a whole bunch of stuff online about them catching on fire, like the Suzuki Samurai's flipping over type thing.
Okay, yeah.
So they got a bad stigma.
Yep.
But the sales still did pretty good. But by the time '88 come around, which was they upgraded the suspension in '88, and then '89 they were going to have like a 3.3 or a bigger motor in it that was going to put out more horsepower.
Yep.
But it was going to compete with the Corvette, literally like beat the Corvette because it's so light.
And you're saying that they didn't want the Corvette
and they did not want anything that was going to be faster than the Vet that was like half the price. You know what I mean?
Of course. They would probably lost money.
Yeah, these were like 10 grand or something like that at the time. So they got squashed. But I would love to see these things, like come back resurrected. It'd be cool as hell. Yeah. Just this little tiny design, light little car.
And this sucks because they don't say if they did like a whole model of a 2024, it would look nothing like this.
Oh no, right.
You know what I mean? Because like I said, 80s
yeah, like they
and 90s.
did with the GTO. It's like, hey, here's the Pontiac
exactly. Or
GTO,
they did
and
you
it's
see,
like that's not a GTO, that's a Euro car.
Did you see like what they did with like the new Acura Integra 2?
Yeah,
like,
it doesn't look right. If you're gonna go with the name brand, you literally have to keep its roots. Mustang did a great job. The Camaros did a great job.
The NSX doesn't even look like a new NSX.
No.
It looks like a supercar.
Even Dodge, the Charger, the Challenger. You can tell. I mean, it has all.
They're trying to get more
DNA.
futuristic to me, you know, and I don't know.
Like you say, it's disappointing. It's like I don't know who's doing their engineers.
It's fine. So working our way in the back of the engine because it's a mid-engine car. That's probably the coolest thing about this. I mean, there's a lot of cool things about this, but back in 84 doing this is really cool. So if you want to explain what kind of motor this is, what do you think horsepower wise you could get out of it stock, or any plans of what you're doing as we speak,
Yeah, so the GT came with the V6 2.8 liter, and you can add power to these, but if you look on the forums, a lot of people you don't want to go overboard.
Yeah.
Because the internals won't hold a lot.
Yeah.
But you could probably push 6 pounds, 8-10 pounds of boost. Stock, I believe it's 160 horse, and you could probably push 200 a little over and be safe, but anything more than that, people have blown these things up. So
yeah.
But for a 2,400 pound car, it's good.
Like you were saying, you drove it the other day, and it's like driving a go-kart.
Right. And this has the Get Rag transmission, which is a Borg Warner 5-speed.
Okay.
When the GTs first come out, they were 4-speed. On the SE model, it's actually a Mitsubishi 5-speed.
Okay.
Behind the 4-cylinder. Mm-hmm. So that was a difference there. And they did come with automatic. A lot of them came with automatic.
And this is what, 5-speed you said?
This is the 5-speed.
5-speed.
Yeah.
You think 5-speeds are a little more rare to find, or?
I think they're definitely worth more money. A lot of people don't want the automatics.
Of course.
I think
if you're
more
a car enthusiast,
I think possibly more automatics were sold because that was about the time where everybody was like, don't even know how to drive a standard. Like today, how many people know how to drive a standard?
Exactly.
That's like the best anti-theft device you can have in a car is a standard.
Right. Yeah. When I went to buy my SI, the guy told me that about 20 people came and looked at it. As soon as they got in, they saw standard, they just walked right away.
Yeah.
So
it's a dying breed. We are.
Personally, I like it better. I think the trannies last a lot longer compared to automatics. But you got to change your clutch.
Right. But if you know how to use it, standard, you can get 200,000 plus out of the clutch.
One of my favorite parts about this is the intake. So if you see right here, the intake. Oh, okay, that comes off. That's really cool. So the intake. Also, these panels do come off. Batteries under there. You have that right there. Are those plastic too, or are they like
These are actually aluminum.
Are they aluminum?
Yeah.
Oh, you can hear, okay. So, we got battery right there, intake right here, but if you come over here, this is probably the coolest part. Where that intake is, there is venting, and you know, a lot of the cars like have like heat, you know, they suffer from heat soak with the cold air intakes and stuff. So I think that's like probably, you know, they thought about that right there.
Yeah, it was an ahead of their time design.
Yeah, exactly. Would you put like a cold air intake on it, or you keep it original, like original?
I've seen it, well, when that 3800 supercharged engine's going to be put in there,
okay, you're gonna
have to go something bigger.
You're gonna have to.
But what I've seen people do is they'll actually take that all out, run a cold air, put the filter in behind where the quarter panel is, so where that runs down. Breathe. Right, and then of course that's still going to feed the cold air, but it's not going to be more. It's not going to be ram air, which that's kind of not anyway.
Yeah. So, definitely really cool. I mean, for an older car, he's running into some hiccups right now. Hiccups he has right now. There's one manifold bolt. Of course, it's all the way in the back of the back crevice. So he thinks it's broke off inside the motor, or you know, inside the
head.
Yeah. So he's gonna have to do some kind of tapping and dying. But where it is, it's so crammed back there. So he's gonna have to figure out a way to, you know, not pull the motor to get it out, you know,
or live with it until I have to do something else with it.
But he says, you said you could feel it or hear an exhaust leak or something.
Yeah,
I mean, what do you expect for old car?
87. So it's
87. I'm bad with math here.
It's like almost 40.
I was gonna say like 42, 45 years old. It's an old car, older than me. I'll tell you that. So, and it looks better than me too. So. Yeah, you definitely could hear the leak, but I mean, starts up great.
Yeah, runs.
Can't complain with that. Sounds like it runs good.
It's fun driving. It's got a little steering wheel. They took a Chevy Citation front wheel drive, and took the whole cradle and moved it to the back, and then they put a Chevy Chevette front end on it.
Yep.
But they just changed the arm so it steers easier, more like a sports
You said
car.
when you were driving it, you could. You said when you were driving it, the front feels like so light, but you could feel the heaviness in the back end, right?
Yeah, you get that. I mean, it handles like a go-kart.
Oh yeah,
basically.
Yeah. Looks like a go-kart, so that's the coolest part. So, it's telling him maybe when you get it, you know, when you're more happy with it, you know, try to bring it to a show or something, you know, because definitely people would go crazy over this. Because I've never even saw one at a show before. So
usually the Fieros, like when I used to take my Corvette to the car shows. There's a whole group of people that have Camaros.
Yeah.
There's a whole group of people that have Fieros. And I've seen 4 or 5.
Yeah.
You know.
So you have. That's cool.
And that's when I first started, like, hey, a buddy of mine, he moved to California.
Yep.
And he was an actor. He's not really like an actor, no name. He was in the Wonder Years, and he was never like a main star. He was like the bully in Wonder Years and stuff, but he got some things.
So cool though.
But he moved from here, and when he was going out there, he bought himself one of these brand new. It was an automatic, and it was burgundy, and I had a 280ZX.
Okay.
And we raced, and he beat me. And I'm like, how the hell is that? You know?
Probably the power.
So that's where I first saw one.
Yeah.
And ever since then, I'm like, man, that thing is cool.
Yeah.
You know, for what it is.
So. Also I wanted to mention the one Moto Cheese. He's the one that he does all these reviews on all these different products, and I think it's so cool. Like I want to try to start doing it. He's trying to, you know, teach me the ropes. You know, there's only
motorcycles, and e-bikes,
everything. Check them out.
Trucks,
it's so cool. You know, I would show you. It's raining outside right now, but it's crappy out. But if we go outside for a feel, you know, I'll show his mini
we'll
truck.
Walk out and look at the SE.
Okay. Oh yeah, there's another one, so I can show you guys the other one. But he just gets, you know, e-bikes and drones and cameras and lights and, you know, motorcycles and all this like cool, like, you know, who even cares? It's Chinese stuff. It's still cool even to get, you know. So I want to try to get into something like that. It's hard though, you know. As you guys know, YouTube is really hard, and especially nowadays, everybody wants to do it. So it's just, you know, You just got to keep moving.
It's almost like going out to Hollywood and trying to become an
actor.
You know?
Exactly.
It's so
exactly.
saturated.
It is.
Yeah.
So back in the day, I was telling you guys before, back in the day, like maybe 2010 to 14, when I just started getting into the car stuff, like me and a couple buddies of mine were doing like what nobody was doing back then, and now everybody's doing, you know, -10 camber and all this cool stuff, and now everybody's doing this overplayed. So the car scene is messed up everywhere. You know, that's why I don't really. I do it for my enjoyment and my friends' enjoyments. I don't, you know, don't really.
Do it because you like it.
Exactly.
If you're doing it to think you're going to make money.
Exactly.
It'll come, but you have to do it because you like it.
And it just, I don't want to, you know, I build my car and people should build their cars for themselves, not what other people think of what they, you know, oh, well, this person liked this. Who cares about that? If you like it, you do it. You know what I mean? So.
We should show the front, which you would think would be a storage compartment.
Exactly.
But that's all in the back.
All right, so going over the front of the vehicle, you would think, you know, this would be your storage. As you guys saw in the back, you have that little bit of storage behind the motor. So these are pretty much, or the front is pretty much your accessories, you know, the brake booster, reservoir, spare tire, jack. Coming over here, you have your, you know, windshield wiper reservoir. That still works too, the windshield wiper reservoir? Yeah, everything works?
Everything works on
That's
this.
cool.
Like
That's
100%.
cool.
It's crazy.
So, like he was saying, with these cars, he didn't mention this, but I'm gonna mention it. With these cars, if you're keeping it outside, you gotta cover it. Just because, like, these crates, the crates in the back I showed you over there in the corners, they get trapped with a whole bunch of leaves and, you know, those little propeller looking things, and they would fall down to the cat and catch on fire.
Where the hood opens
yes, you know, and it
gather on top of the cat and then catch fire.
So they did have a bad like time, and he was saying that the first couple that were made, the
84s came out, they had to get recalled
because of the valve cover gasket, you said, right? They were leaking on the cat, and there's a lot of fires. But yeah, the front's really cool too. Spare tire tie down. Jack is still there. You think that's the original jack?
I think so.
It looks like it. But
I think everything's original on this.
Yeah. I mean, it looks it.
The rims are not original.
No, didn't it come with these?
No, they're American Racing.
Okay. So, it's drizzling outside. We're going to go outside to, you know, take a look at the other one. I know he has a really cool mini truck. That's what he's known for. Definitely check those videos out, the mini truck. He does have some cool videos on that. But,
check this out, too.
Let's see this.
You see the way the headlights pop up?
Okay.
Well, this works on a slide. It's actually it's spring-loaded.
Okay.
So, since the air jams through the radiator when you're going down the road, and it has to push back down.
Okay.
If you do over 100 miles an hour, these headlights lift. So a lot of people put a little vent scoop right there.
So the headlights
don't lift. Can get, so that the heat comes over the hood.
You don't want it to lift because you're going so fast. The air, just from the aerodynamic, it lifts it.
Right.
Oh, okay,
all the air jams in here.
I thought like it was doing it for like more aero.
No, it's actually like kind of a defect or a flaw, I should say.
Yeah.
Because enough air doesn't push itself back out, so it makes this whole compartment pressurized, and it opens these up.
So when you turn on the headlights, it just pushes against that and pushes it up?
Yeah, it slides there and pushes it up.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so it's not attached to the... It's not attached to the lid, because about like what? All of them are attached to the lid, so the lid pops up. Oh, wow. Pretty much have its own motor.
Right.
That's really cool. So when that goes up, it hits that, and then opens that right there. I mean, what do you want for, 80s?
Right.
You know, they're just probably just trying to discover it.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
But what I want to do is I do want to put one of those little scoops. So of course, it's the opposite way. So
exactly.
Just like the new Vets and a lot of the
have the scoop
supercars. Right, it'll have like a scoop that comes up this way. So any air that gets in there is drawn out.
Exactly. Oh, yeah. So, if you guys ever heard of it, definitely let me know. You know, I thought it was really cool to do a video on, because I definitely never saw one, and I don't know if you guys did, but if you guys did, that's really cool. He got a whole bunch of stuff, e-bikes and motors to boats and has a whole bunch of stuff. He has a table over there for that he needs to do more reviews on. So hopefully one day I get there. You know, it's really cool. So
you will.
Do you have like a website or anything? So you know, I know you have some stuff like key tags and stuff.
Motocheese.com.
Motocheese.com. I'll have that again. I'll have that in the description if you guys want to go. You know, he gave me one of his what do you want to call it? Keychains, key tags. So actually really cool. Check that out. I'll have that in the description below. But we're gonna work our way outside. It's raining, so if it noise, you know, bothers you or anything, we're just gonna go outside. I know he has some other cool stuff out there. So this is I'm gonna give you a quick glimpse of his other vehicles, but this I could do another video on, so I didn't want to save it. But right hand drive mini truck, right hand drive turbo. What is this called again?
That's an Atari XX.
Atari XX Turbo. I do want to. It's actually for sale. So if you're interested, he has Instagram, Motocheese. Hit him up. It's for sale. It's really cool to see. Let's see if I get a quick glimpse. So small and compacted. It's really cool, but this we'll do another video on. Stay tuned for that. So he has another container in the side of the house. This one is the SE, you said?
This is the SE.
SE. Yeah. Same thing. I mean, little different. It doesn't have much of the arrow on it, but motor is different. Was that a single cam?
Yeah, it's a single cam. That valve covers off. That's the Iron Duke.
Iron Duke?
Yeah.
What's an Iron Duke?
The Iron Duke they used to put in boats and everything.
Oh, okay.
It's Chevy's pushrod engine. 2.5 liter, believe it or not.
It's a cool little spot in here, you know.
98 horsepower.
98 horsepower.
That's what that was.
That's crazy.
But that was their debut. It came with this because this was supposed to get 50 miles per gallon and be a commuter car in economy.
Imagine like your mother driving this thing or something.
Oh yeah, an old lady actually owned this car.
That's crazy.
The original owner.
Are these the stock rims that would come on the other one?
No, no. These are like, this whole car is more of like the low end budget car. Yeah. That is the higher end.
He does have a lift right here. It's out of the floor lift. It's more for like detailing, but it's still really cool. Again, still same setup. Nothing really different here, but it's cool to have like this car for like a. I don't know if you want to like. Oh, you're putting the other motor in this, but I mean, it'd be cool for like a donor car too if you ever need parts or something. But
this car literally has like not even a speck of rust on it.
Yeah.
Here, that's the original inspection sticker. You see the mileage?
Yep. Oh wow.
37,115. It only has a little bit more on it.
Yeah.
This car was stolen and recovered like 2 days later.
You were telling me that. You were telling me that when we were
So
exploring.
I think that's how the motor got blown, and then it just sat in the old lady's garage.
Wonder if it was so hard. Wonder if it's really easy to steal these.
Oh yeah. All you got to do is turn the ignition. There's no chip. There's no anything.
Okay.
You basically break the ignition.
Doing anything with these motors over here?
Well, that's a good wrench motor with maybe 40,000 miles.
Yeah.
That come out of a pickup Jeffro. I got that from him because I was going to put that in that vet, but then I ended up taking another block that a buddy of mine had and did all performance on it, aluminum heads and stuff. I could pop the hoods for that too. And that's the original block out of that car.
Oh yeah.
So I don't know what I'm going to do with that. They do put these in a Fiero, believe it or not.
Do they?
But you're only talking a carbureted version of that is what, 260 horse or something.
Very heavy, you think?
And it's very heavy.
Very heavy.
And too much torque for that transmission, I feel. Because it's more torque than horsepower on the V8s.
100%. Still really clean inside.
Low mileage car, but this is the basic Fiero.
He said it does. This one does have power windows. So the other one was crank windows.
No, the only thing this has is power windows. There's no other options.
Okay.
It's
what
like
about the one inside?
That's
power windows too.
And mirrors.
Yeah. That screams 80s.
Oh yeah.
You know.
It doesn't have the gauges up on the top like the GT.
Yeah.
This doesn't have air conditioning, so it has a different setup.
It didn't come with AC?
No, this is like a bare bones Fiero.
Wonder what these cost brand new.
I think they're only like 13,000 or 15,000.
Yeah.
They were cheap.
Still so cool. Take that motor out. That supercharged motor I showed you is gonna go in this one. Hell yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun.
Even the lights are really cool.
Yeah. And these are different than the GT lights. Of course, this doesn't have a wing on it. You know?
I think the wing makes the back on that one too.
Yeah,
you know,
and it's this isn't a slope back. This is more a notch back.
So it does have a Stingray over here.
Yeah, this is.
Yeah.
We rebuilt the whole motor high performance, so this is.
I'm telling you guys, he has some really cool stuff. Yeah, it's not probably what you guys like, this, turbo, Honda, blah, blah, but, this older stuff is really still cool to see. Oh, wow. Yeah. Oh, yeah. What's
this?
this?
Is probably 330 horse.
Yeah, that's still really cool. You said aluminum heads.
Right. Aluminum heads. It has flat top pistons. It's got the performer intake on it.
Yep. Oh yeah, this thing's really cool too, and it's in really good shape. The hard top come off.
Yeah.
Yeah, hard top comes off. Yeah. Hell yeah.
These are fun.
Yeah. It's different looking at these vets compared to these new vets that are out, like the C8s and stuff.
Oh yeah.
But I'd rather look at this than those any day.
These have more style.
More style,
right?
Yes.
Because when you saw this coming down the road back in the day, you knew exactly what it was. Today, a lot of cars, they all look the same. All the sedans kind of have the same shape. But the new vet, you look at the vet and you're like, what is that? Is that a supercar?
Yeah, right. Yeah. We get that a lot. Like, I had a woman come in the other day. It was like, what kind of Ferrari is that outside? And I was like, no, it's not a Ferrari. It's a Corvette.
Mm-hmm. Oh, so. The plastic panels, like you were saying. See this one?
Oh yeah.
That's what happens when you get wet.
There you go.
But now, the kid gave me another fender.
If you can't buy it, how would you just fix that? Can you fix it? Like,
I imagine you could fix it.
You can probably do something to
plastic
fix it.
welding.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. But it's all plastic.
Yeah.
Fenders are plastic. That's insane. Imagine, God forbid, you got into a car accident with this piece of stuff flying everywhere. Oh my God.
That's probably another reason why there's not many on the road anymore either.
He did get this bike sent to him for a review. Again, so cool. Imagine getting a bike sent to you. Like, that's sick. Like, sick. So we just went outside, showed you a few other things. He has so much other stuff, and it's just raining though, so hopefully, when it's nicer out, we could do, more content of what he has. I don't want to steal his content, but he has so much cool stuff, and it's I don't know. It's hard to explain, but when you see it, you're like, wow, like some cool stuff. So yeah, rare car, definitely a rare car. Definitely like the GT better than the SE. Yeah. I have to say. You wouldn't ever think about putting this motor in this?
Well, if that goes well in the SE,
maybe find another one. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So use that as like a prototype.
I don't want 360 horse in a 20.
I know.
220. Well, 20.
It's like a freaking. That's like 500 horsepower with the weight,
literally.
So, yeah, it's about it, guys. Hope you guys like this one. Want to get the ball rolling again. I just fell off. I was dealing with a lot of stuff. Like, my cat had some problems and had a lot of money. It's just, how it goes. So, if you guys have any questions, you could drop it down in a comment. I'm sure Moto Cheese will read my comments. I don't get much comments, so it's easy to read. Or, go over to his page, his Instagram page. I'll have it in the bio below, but it's Moto Cheese. So, everything will be in the description below. But thank you for coming back, guys. I really appreciate it.
I have all videos on this and that.
Both of them.
On both of them.
Okay, so yeah, I definitely will drop the description. More, yeah, if you guys definitely want to see more, get more into that. If you guys have one or want one, probably gonna be a little hard to find, but definitely doable. Yeah. Again, thank you so much, and hopefully see you guys soon. Like, comment, subscribe. Stay tuned for more content. We'll catch you on the next one, guys. Later.